watching adult men play a simple child's game, all while being paid more than the president.
This is the Rob Dibble Show.
So he has dibs. You respect dibs, don't you?
I'm not a barbarian.
Back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell, live from Plan B in Sellington, right off on Queen Street. The First Dibs question of the day sponsored by Trantolo and Trantolo. They've been fighting for you, get you money for your injury since 1938. Their law offices are located in Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport, New Haven, and Torrington. You can give them a call at 844-999-9999. First Dibs question of the day is, who is Saquon Barkley rooting for tonight? Does he want Matt Breida to play well? Does he want Daniel Jones to play well? Or, I mean, you know he's not rooting for them to lose, but you don't want the backup to look too good, or you're in a Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott situation.
I'm not sure he's not wanting them to lose. I'm not sure he's not wanting them to feel the heat without them. Like, I thought about this morning. He sits out the first 4 weeks of this season. I think he's pretty much exactly where he's at when he played the first two. He has no bargaining power. It is what it is, as he said, and now he's on the shelf watching the team play without him. I think it's just human nature for the guy to somewhat, in the back of his mind, maybe not show it, but if we get blown out 40-0, maybe then they'll realize how much they need me. I don't think it's just him either. I think it's all running backs tonight are rooting for the San Francisco 49ers to blow out the New York Giants without Saquon. It's just looking at the guys that are on the top of the pile right now through 2 games, through rushing yards. You got some guys that, you know, are going to be in this conversation in 4 years or even less. Bijan Robinson, second in the league right now in rushing yards behind Christian McCaffrey. James Cook, 5th in the league and a lot better than his brother Dalvin Cook for the Buffalo Bills. Like, those two cats in particular, your future's staring you right in your face.
Did Kareem Hunt go back to the Browns?
Yes, he did.
He did sign.
Yes, he did.
All right, we didn't use that yesterday.
That happened late yesterday.
Happened late yesterday that Kareem Hunt is back with the Cleveland Browns. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing too. You were showing me Jonathan Taylor now. They're trying to trade him from the Indianapolis Colts because he's not playing. I mean, that's huge. Listen, if you don't have a great, and we're not talking good, great quarterback, great running back combo, you're not winning in this league. And that's why we see year in, year out, like the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills or, you know, teams like that continually get to the postseason. The reason why they're so good, and back in the day, even with the New England Patriots, one of the reasons they were so good was Tom Brady. He was, for 20 years, the best quarterback in the league.
Well, I think that again, I'm on the owner's side on this running back thing. I really do think he can find him on the trash heap. I'll see how Breida plays. It's not going to be his first go-around, but let's watch Jerome Ford fill in as a Cleveland Browns running back when Nick Chubb went down.
But do you think he can do it every week? I look at that like eventually he'll be exposed. Not for who he really is, but he'll wear out. I mean, the thing about great running backs that I'm talking about is durability, consistency, the ability to stay healthy. I mean, even Derrick Henry over the years has kind of slowed down and been battered because he just gets abused so much. I mean, everybody's got a shelf life at running back.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I'm still with the owners, and you don't pay these guys more than a couple of years because you are going to be watching them on the exercise bike on the sideline and not getting you any kind of rushing yards in between them.
Okay, but I disagree where I'm like, listen, if you have a 5-year run, you need to get the most bang for your buck, the most money as a running back.
Yes.
I'm not talking hold out. What Le'Veon Bell did years ago when he had a $14 million deal in place was stupid. You can't make that money back.
Right.
It's like getting an offer. It's very risky when someone gives you a long-term guaranteed contract or money that's guaranteed to you. Don't turn it away, people. That would be my advice because you never know. You get hurt. The next year, you know, somebody else can take your job, just like what you said.
Saquon Barkley. You had 4 years on the table, man, at a little bit less than what you're making for this one particular year. But if you would have took that deal, this injury wouldn't have hurt or stung your soul like it is because of the money that you probably are not going to get now in the next 3 years, because this just adds to the conversation of your damaged goods. You've been broken before. Why should I pay you when some other rookie, some other 21-year-old, some other Bijan
That's what we're talking about with Shohei Ohtani right now.
Yeah.
How much
I
money
agree.
is he losing because of an injury, a recurring injury at that?
But luckily for him, he's got another bag of tricks. Like if he was just a pitcher, the best pitcher in the last 3 years, 3 Cy Youngs, 5 no-hitters, and he hurts his elbow like he does and he can't pitch next year, I ain't paying him.
Right.
But because he's got another bag of tricks, you're definitely thinking about millions upon millions.
Stuff. I agree with you. Listen, I'm not a Giants fan. I'm a player fan. And when players get injured, it hurts my heart. It really does, because you're only as good as your body allows you to be. And running backs are taking, this Nick Chubb injury was sickening to watch. But it's what happens. And that's part of the game that you can't control. So you want to have as much security as possible. And then I don't want to be the union guy and going back to their union being weak, but they are.
You're right. This is where it comes down to.
They wouldn't be in this situation if they got guaranteed deals like in NBA and the MLB. And that's because years ago you keep folding when you run the league. Nobody's going to watch replacement players. Nobody cares about replacement players. They want to see the biggest names. But if the biggest name quarterbacks keep crossing the strike line, you're screwed. That's what weakens your union, and that's why even when the running backs had a phone call this year, nobody cared. You're just such a small, minute part of the union. The rest of the union didn't want to walk out with you. They're not going to risk what they've already gotten.
Right.
Left tackles are making mega money.
I was going to bring this up. Like it's fractured because of the positions.
Yes.
Like
you're exactly. So the significant part of what's going on there is the specialty guys, the quarterback, the left tackle, the running back, the wide receiver, the guys that are making the most money. They're not going to cave and help out a guard or a right tackle. They're not going to help out the backup players. That's the difference in Major League Baseball. The union's all for one for all kind of stuff has saved us during so many lean years. When the owners really want to pick you apart, those are the years where you have to stick together. 81, 90, 94, that changed the way Major League Baseball players were paid. The NBA, same thing. The NBA, when they went on strike for a year, and the NHL, same thing. The NHL, they took our former head, Don Fear, and he became the head of the Players Association in the NHL. Why do you think the NHL players are making so much money? Because they're unified. And that's the problem that hurts these guys. In the most violent, physically destructive game, you have to all be on the same page.
Totally agree with you. I just find it hard to believe, though, that the defensive tackle, the quarterback, the other players on defense are okay with the running back getting paid just about as much as kickers and punters. And until they do come together, you're right. It's not going to change until the collective bargaining agreement.
That's sad.
So, if the quarterback, let's just say, if the quarterback, like you said, you want to win Super Bowls, you should probably up the ante for what you're paying as a league for your running back to stay healthy, or at least stay on the field, or at least feel like he has got some kind of security in his job.
It's painful. All right, let's get back to some baseball. Talk some Daily Pickle. Talk about even Jason Dominguez and him coming out of his elbow surgery, what the future holds for him. We're live at Plan B in Southington. Come join us.